Hi there. We're just gonna wait a second. It's Friday morning, guys. Friday morning. Yes. Or afternoon. Yeah. Maybe afternoon, depending upon where you are. I hope you all had a glorious week. Yay. Typical stuff going on here. Another little video. But this time, we'll wait a little bit longer to, let people get here. I'm basically going to be showing you the new Pipa Lite. Showing you the original OG Pipa. What are different about them? And then we're going to give a Pipa Lite away. So make sure you enter. The link is in the profile, comments, the caption for the video. Just make sure you watch the whole video first. You don't want to leave the video and come back because then you miss all the information. So, Pipa. I am a huge fan of the Nuna Pipa. I think it is an incredible infant car seat. I love Nuna. So, a few months back, when I was out of town working, I got to chat with some Nuna folks over drinks, and they told me they were coming out with a new version of the Pipa, and I kept my mouth shut for a long time. I've known this was in the works for a few months now, and I'm excited. It's finally out. It's always nice to have a fun new product hit the market. But it's going to be an interesting thing to try to compare, contrast these seats, because the original Pipa is a great seat. They both go the same weight and height, 4 pounds up to 32 pounds, 32 inches. They're both compatible with Nuna strollers or other strollers when you get adapters. And the Pipa by itself is a very light car seat. This is not a heavy car seat. However, they have developed basically an entirely new manufacturing process for this seat. The shell is thinner, the plastic shell is thinner than the Pipa. And I don't want to take this all apart, but the foam, if you ever take apart a car seat, when you look at the shell, the foam that looks kind of like styrofoam is basically put in the shell or glued into the shell. The way that the Pipa Lite is made, the foam is kind of infused onto the plastic shell. So it's one part of it. You're not going to have it crack off and break and all of this. And it makes for a very flexible seat. And they've said that, God forbid you're in a collision, that flexibility and ability to compress the foam and everything is going to help absorb crash energy forces. So because the shell is thinner and a couple other things, the Pipa Lite, without the infant insert and the canopy, which we'll talk about in a second, the Pipa Lite weighs 5.3 pounds. 5.3 pounds. That's very light. Now, because I'm thorough, I weighed it with the infant insert, which we'll talk about, and the canopy. And I used a couple different scales, and it averaged out with all of this together at 6.9, which is still very light. So, it's a light seat. There's still about a 2-pound difference between these two. But 5.3, again, is without canopy and the infant insert. Now, most people will use the canopy all the time. You only really use the infant insert until they're, a couple months old. They get a little bit bigger. But what's really great about the infant insert, aside from what it's made of, you can actually use this head support almost the entire duration of the infant seat. As long as the harness is not in the top slot, because you have to thread the infant insert, the head support, through the top slot, you can actually have this head support in the seat a long time. So that's really nice. Now, real quick, we're going to talk about the base before we go into a few things with this versus Pipa. It is the same base. It is interchangeable. So if you have a regular Pippa and you need to buy one for a second car or whatever, you can buy a Pipa Lite. You can get your regular Pippa, whatever. This is all interchangeable. No changes to the base. And a few things I love about this base, and it's why it's one of my favorite infant seats out there. You have rigid latch. So instead of seatbelt webbing and you have to like put your knee in and stick them in and get it tight, you basically turn those and slam them in and then you're almost done. It's super easy. If you're installing it with a seatbelt, it also has a really nice built-in lock-off to lock the seatbelt down. It's very, very easy to use. But another feature that I love, and if you've ever seen me talk about car seats or whatever at events in person, it's one of the only seats in America that has a load leg, which is this guy. So you have to imagine this installed, rear facing. This is going to go down and touch the floorboard in your back seat. And what that does, it acts as a third point of attachment and helps in a collision. A lot of the crash forces are going to be diverted through the base, down through the load leg and into the floorboard. But it also helps eliminate what's called rotation in a collision. So in a collision, in a frontal collision, if you're in a wreck, everything will rotate this way and then bounce back. So that having this load leg touch the floorboard, there you go. It's going to help eliminate that rotation and thereby eliminate rebound because it doesn't happen as much. Sirens, they're coming to get me. But that's going to help keep your child contained within the shell of the car seat, and that is the whole idea. So that is the base of the Pippa and Pipa Lite. Boom. I love it. It's great. Now, the base is important when you talk about both of these because the Pippa, again, you know, has your lap belt here, the lap belt path, so you can install this without the base. Lap belt goes across here. It has the European belt path right here for the shoulder belt. Shoulder belt goes around the back. Makes for a very, very good install without the base. So, if you live in an urban environment or think you're going to be traveling a lot, this is the Pippa you want. Because one of the things the Pipa Lite has done to make it lightweight, they have eliminated the belt path for the lap belt, and there is no European belt path on the back. And what this means, you have to have the base to install this car seat. You cannot install this without the base. There is no belt path at all, okay? So you have to carry this and the base if you want to travel. Now this base is also FAA certified, I was told yesterday, actually. So if you're going to travel, you can take this on a plane and install it to install the car seat. You know, if you live in a suburban environment and you don't think you're going to be taking cabs or Ubers or whatever, and you think your travel is going to be minimal, you know, traveling with a base a couple times is not the end of the world. But if you do travel a lot or deal with cabs, Ubers, etc., go for the regular Pippa. Now, a couple other things about this seat that set it apart from this guy. The fabrics and all of the materials in here, nothing involved in the manufacturing process with the Pipa Lite has flame retardant chemicals. So that's very good. It also has this really, really nice insert. And when you feel it, it kind of feels like memory foam, but it's not like a memory foam. It is basically a squishy memory foam-like material that has a firmer casing on it. And if you want to think of that as kind of like plastic around a bicycle helmet, you have like the styrofoam and then the plastic. That's going to help disperse and distribute crash forces. So that's what this has been designed to do. It's super soft. But what about when your kid vomits all over that and they get sick and you're going to have to clean it? it comes with an additional insert that is certified GOTS organic. You've got everything. The textiles are wonderful on this, which is par for the course with Nuna. Nuna does killer fabrics. That's one of the things I love. It feels good. It doesn't feel like gross, like car seat upholstery. So you do have the two inserts that come with the Pipa Lite. So you have flame retardant free, you have organic materials, you have a weight of 5.3 to 6.9, depending on if you have an insert or canopy on it. And it's just super light. It's super light. Now, one thing really quick I did not bring up with the canopies. The canopy on the Pipa, get in here, it does have what they call like the dream drape, which was the whole big like blackout curtain here. So you get a huge canopy with this guy. With this guy, put that down, you just get like a little pop-out visor, so it's not as expansive a canopy as the regular Pipa, but it's still very good. It's very good. Super easy, like, you know, typical handle adjustment. You've got your, you know, remove from the adapters buttons. So this is it. It's the Pipa Lite. It's super light. Both of these seats are wonderful. It really just depends on your lifestyle with these two. Do you want a car seat that's going to enable you to travel without a base? You deal with cabs. Or do you live more suburban and your travel's going to be very limited and you can deal with like taking the base with the car seat? Really, to me, that's about it. That would differentiate them for me. Again, it's about a 2-pound difference total. When you have canopy and insert, the difference is about 2 pounds. So, Pipa Lite, regular Pipa, both go from 4 pounds to 32 pounds, 32 inches. And again, just basic car seat information real quick. In a rear-facing seat, remember, harness goes at or below the shoulders. And the reason for this is because I should have brought the child over here. If you have a baby in here and you're in a collision, frontal, everything's gonna keep flying that way until it's held down. So by having the harness at or below the shoulders, it's gonna keep your child contained within the shell and keep them from sliding up, and you wanna keep them contained within here as much as possible. And once they hit weight or height as stated by the manufacturer, you gotta get them out into the next seat. You do not wait on them to hit both combined. It's one or the other, but a child can outgrow a car seat if they haven't hit weight or height as stated by the manufacturer, and it has nothing to do with their legs. When I worked at Bye Bye, we were told that once their legs draped over the seat, that they were too big. That's completely incorrect, and a lot of parents do get freaked out when children's legs get longer than the seat. They think they're going to be uncomfortable or their legs are going to break, you know, if they were in a wreck. There is no data to back up leg injuries in a rear-facing seat. That's not how physics works. So if your kid has not hit weight or height as stated by the manufacturer, and it can vary car seat to car seat, but in a rear-facing seat, you have the top of the shell up here, top of the head, you want 1 inch between. Once they hit that, they're out. Because if their head is too close to up here, if you're in a collision, there is potential for contact with automobile seat and head. You don't want that. You want contained within the shell. Chest clip, armpit to armpit, keep it there. There you go. And that's it. Boom. Pipa Lite. Pipa. We're giving one of these guys away. So make sure you enter. Make sure you let your friends know, just because I did drop some knowledge bombs up in here. The seat feels great. This fabric, if you can get into like a local Brixie retailer, like Magic Beans in Boston or somewhere. Because Nuna, a lot of people don't know, Nuna is a specialty brand. They are not in Buy Buy Baby. They are not on Amazon. You can see them in Nordstrom, and you can see them in like local independent specialty baby stores, which is why you gotta support local business. So go feel this. It feels great. I kind of wish I had like a seat cushion for myself, because these metal seats are not comfortable that I sit on. So this is it. Get into it. Nuna Pipa Lite, super, super light car seat, free of flame retardant chemicals, organic seat inserts. She's nice. So be good. We're giving one away. And also go see it. It's incredible. Bye. Turn off. I'm too far away.